welcome to another episode of Your Food, My Way. Today we're making a Russian Piroshki. I'm going to guess that's right. It seems to be a quick little snack, kind of a street food type of thing. I've actually made it once just to try it out with some leftover taco meat that I had. Turned out really good, so now I'm actually going to try to halfway follow the recipe and see how that goes. Alright. Most of it's just chopping and frying, so if you need the instructions, this video is Mr. Food on YouTube, and he actually has a page. It looks like mrfood.com. I'll leave links to everything down below. You can find it. So while I get stuff ready, I gotta tell you, I may have seen the strangest food ever yesterday. But before I can tell you about that, I have to fill you in on the background. So I'm going to get to chopping here while I fill you in. I work with well, this is a story about weed. And sorry stoners, this is not about legalizing it and anything. I work with a guy named Weed. That's not his name or his real name. But when he first started working, he works in maintenance. Although I've never actually seen him do any maintenance. He's not in environmental services, custodian. But what he does in my office, comes around, changes the trash bags. Well, what he does in my office is every chance he gets, sits down and sleeps. But when he first started, he worked nights, where him and another guy would wax the floors. And we didn't know his name, but he has a tattoo on one arm there that says Weed. All it says, Weed. Now, when I say tattoo, I'm not talking about Ink Master, somewhere fashionable nowadays. No, this looks like a ballpoint pen and a hot needle. This is not quality work. Man, that's all it says is Weed. Well, I didn't know his name when we were talking one day, and I said something about him. The person I was talking to, who are you talking about? And I said, Weed. And he knew what I was talking about because of the tattoo. Okay, so just in the office there, we called him Weed. Not to his face, because we didn't know his name. And unfortunately, he'd been around and talked to us long enough that it got to the point where it was uncomfortable to say, man, sorry, we don't even know your name. So it was just Weed. So we skip forward to one Christmas. My son wanted a goat, a pet goat. I don't know why. He's got in his head he needed a pet goat. So Weed knows everybody. He's probably mid-50s. He probably hasn't left his county that he lives in 50 times in his life. You know how you always saw the Dukes of Hazzard? They were always in Hazzard County. Well, that's Weed. He is always in that county. And he knows everybody. So I asked Weed. I said, hey, you know anybody that has a goat? Weirdly enough, he did. Knew somebody sold him. Okay, so he says, I don't know a farmer that has them. I'll hook you up. So one day during lunch, Wade and I, we run over to this farmer's house. And so the farmer, sure, here, what do you need? Okay, it'll be ready this day. I'll be okay, I need it this day. We come to terms on me buying a goat. Now, the next time I come back to pick up the goat, Weed isn't with me. And the farmer, in the course of our conversation, he says, how you know Weed? Or asked if I work with Weed or something like that. And I was kind of taken back. I'm like, hey, he actually called him Weed. Which I thought was pretty funny. So, when I go to talk to Weed, he said, hey, what did that guy call me? Well, I didn't want to say he called him Weed because I didn't know if that was kind of an insult, So I'm like, I don't remember. He's like, yeah, most people around just call me Weed. I just wonder if he did. I was like, well, now that I think about it, I think he might have. And so, apparently that's an actual nickname, Weed. Now, Weed is an odd guy. I mean, odd. He picks fights with businesses that I'm not sure if they know they're in fights. He'll hold a grudge against them. And he got in an argument over a little cafe because he went to the drive-thru to order a glass of tea, and there was a girl standing in the drive-thru. It's a little family-run place, and she's standing in there, and he pulls up. Instead of talking to the drive-thru, he just pulls up and knocks on the window. Say, hey, I need a glass of sweet tea. She's like, oh, I don't actually work here. I was just visiting. He got mad that she did not give him tea. So, I ain't going back there. That's all we heard for 6 months. I ain't going back there. They lost my business, all this stuff. Well, I don't think they actually knew they were in a feud with Weed. But he finally went back, and then he got mad at the dollar store. He went and bought a baseball cap from there. Apparently, he didn't like the quality of it. I took that back, walked in, just took that hat off, threw it on the floor, said, y'all can just keep this piece of crap, and left. Now, I'm sure the little girl working behind the counter there had no idea why some crazy man walked in, threw a hat down on the floor, and left. But in his mind, they were in a feud. I think I got way too much cabbage. Let's scoop a little bit of that out. But anyway, this is, and I'm really not even impacting how out there Weed is. Weed spends too much time on his own. He will walk into the office, and it will be something like, so I told her that she was just going to have to do it herself. Know what I mean? No, man, I don't. You started this conversation 10 minutes before I was here. In the same way, he'll be in the middle of a conversation and just leave. And you can hear him going down the hall. He's still talking to you. The security was looking at the security cameras one day because somebody dropped a wallet out in the parking lot, and they'd see if they find it or if somebody picked it up or if the guy dropped it. And they see Weed, and he goes by. He's walking by. Yeah, Blue, come on. Like he's whipping an ox or something. And he's just out there by himself. So a while later, he comes walking back by. Come on, Blue, come on. Keep up. Okay, that's Weed. So anyway, he comes into my office yesterday. Mind if I ate lunch? Now, it doesn't matter what your answer to that is. He's going to sit there. It's real weird because I don't even eat lunch in my office. But apparently that's Weed's cafeteria. Or at least it was yesterday. Usually he just crackers and a glass of coffee. But yesterday he had the weirdest meal I've ever seen. He got a can of Hormel chili. And if you don't know what Hormel chili is, Google that crap. I'm not your mama. You're on the internet. But he got that chili cold, just opened the can, and got a loaf of bread, scooped out chili, threw it on the bread, and made a sandwich out of cold chili. Now, I get the bread thing, because, I eat crackers with chili, and really they ain't that a whole lot of difference. But it's never crossed my mind to make a chili sandwich, let alone a cold chili sandwich. I don't even know what to go with that. But with all that said, I sound like I'm picking on Weed. I'm putting the microphone up here. Maybe it'll pick up the whole time. But I ain't trying to pick on Weed. He's actually a really nice guy. but he's just odd. He keeps getting in arguments with the lady that's the head of our cafeteria. She keeps throwing him out of the cafeteria. The problem is, he comes from a big family, and he's related to everybody in the county. Now, real quick, I've noticed how many times I say now. Every time I start a new sentence, I start with now. I'm trying to break that habit. Most of the videos on this, you make your own dough. And I came across Mr. Food, and he used biscuits, flaky biscuits. And since there's no need to, reinvent the egg, I went with that route too. Because it's quick, easy, it's good. I'm trying these honey butter because honey butter, why not? We'll get to that part, but just throwing that out there. So I'll tell you another weed story. So I'm working with a guy, Randy. Oh, and this recipe actually doesn't call for mushrooms, but mushrooms, I like them. So I'm working with Randy, and Randy leaves one day, and he calls me and said, "Hey, you know that east parking lot at the end of it? There's that fence, got those dogs that run back and forth barking the whole time?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Weed is out here, and he is running back and forth along that fence line, barking back at the dogs." I'd just like to know, if you work for a company, do you have your own weed? I'm convinced every company has weed, and man, I made a mess. I seriously went to scoop that up, and I dropped 3 pieces while I scooped up 2. I'm losing ground. Trying to get the cabbage wilted. I honestly don't know what wilted cabbage looks like. It's looking pretty limp. I don't assume that is wilted. Said 5 to 7 minutes. I don't know how long I've been doing it. Yeah, we're gonna get it good enough. Now, a lot of recipes, international recipes that I've been watching, they call this ground beef. And that's actually what it says on the package. But I grew up, it's hamburger meat. I've seen mince meat, which I think is a really cool name. But to us, it was always just hamburger meat. So, non-Americans, or even Americans, tell me what you call this meat. While that's browning, I'm going to get the dough ready. I'm trying to do this somewhere where you can see it here in this camera. What I want to do is just pull them apart, make each biscuit into 2 little patties, and we are going to flatten those patties out, trying to make them about 3 inches. Basically, I'm trying to make them as big as I can before they tear. Now these are going to be our little meat pies. They actually sell these at most convenience stores around here. Meat pies. I think that they sell more of these Spanish version. Apparently this recipe is Russian. And really nice because the only thing I really knew about Russia was steroids and sports and Miller Bride. Oh, and they got the James Bond villain as the president. Whereas we got like a Bugs Bunny villain as ours, so who am I to talk? Heating up oil there, trying to get to 350, and I've never used a thermometer to heat up oil, so I have no idea if that's a high, low. Okay, got the meat cooked. Put our cabbage back. And the old salt and pepper to taste. A little dried dill. I think I have a severe cabbage excess. The last time I made it was strictly meat. This time, it's the first time I'm putting cabbage in it, and it looks excessive. I will tell you, the ones I ate with just the meat, really good, and I'm willing to give this a shot, but I think I may like it without the cabbage better. I did figure out to make sure you close it good before it all leaks down into your oil. And one step I did forget, it said to drain your meat, but there wasn't a lot of oil in it, so good on that. Alright, I'm going to fill these up, so feel free to fast forward. Ooh, hot. Got my little oil a little hot, but it says as long as it's not smoking. Alright, here we go. Now let me go ahead and put this where you can see what we're shooting for. Yeah, it's professional. Amazes me how quick they cook. They smell like donuts, which I guess is not that far from how donuts are made. And it's best to have a plate with a paper towel, which I don't have. And to seal them a little better. You can tell mine aren't sealed that great. Not a popping open. while those last two cook, I want to try the actual mixture. See how it turned out. I gotta tell you, I think it was better without the cabbage. That may be the traditional, and now that I know, I will make it again, but I definitely think I will make it without the cabbage. Oh, that ain't bad, but definitely the cabbage is kind of overpowering. And that's just in the meat. Now the biscuit with the honey butter, let's see. With the biscuit, you don't taste the cabbage as much, so I'm assuming it's more of a filler than anything. This actually works out pretty decent, but maybe you need to stuff it a little bit more, get better for me spreading them out. This one's kind of not stuffed that great, so I get a high biscuit ratio. Not terrible. I think I'd like to try spice up the meat some more of the Mexican style. But it's easy with the little biscuits. Just roll them out. Like I said, I used leftover taco meat the first time I made them. But the Russian style with the dill